to Volume 2 of The Craft of Conducting. The major part of this video will be here in the David Josefowicz Recital Hall at the Royal Academy of Music, and we'll also be going briefly to Canford School in Dorset. In this video, we'll be dealing with all the subdivisions and how to use them, different types of accents and pauses with the baton, how to show details of texture, dynamic and tempo, and larger movements involving the whole body. Our pianist is Leah Williams. We're going to look first at subdivided 2. It's probably the most underused and the most useful subdivision. It's when the feeling of the music is essentially in 2 and the meter is in 2, but we need the subdivision to keep in touch with all that's going on. I'll demonstrate this in abstract first of all. Here's our beta 2, which we've looked at already. And to subdivide this, first of all, we're just going to add a little undulation on the second beat. There it is. And then we continue that into the first beat. So we have 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. I'm still keeping the shape of the main beat so people can still see that it's in 2. Watch this again. And the alternative is to use a crossover beat at the top to add a little more definition, so we might get this. If we want to take more time in the music, we can make the subdivisions bigger and more circular. Have a look at all those now from behind. So here's the shape of the main beat first of all. And then we're going to add the subdivision on the second beat and then on the first. So there's quite a lot of action from the wrist and contact with the finger here, while the upper arm lifts us between the first and the second beat. We'll make a little more time between the subdivisions now by making the undulations more circular. And now let's go into the crossover where you can swing the other side of the upbeat. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Let's look at this in a musical context now, and we're going to use the second movement of Haydn's Symphony No. 104, first of all, just up to the double bar. We're going to go on into the movement a little bit now and show how you can slow the tempo down by using more circular subdivisions. This is after the pause. The next section requires a slightly more articulated beat, both from the wrist and the finger, and also the crossover beat, which we've already looked at. You don't need to keep all the subdivisions in this section, and there's an abrupt stop at the end. Let's look at the regular subdivision of 2 first of all. And we'll add the crossover And if we just add one more to that crossover, we get 5 beats in a bar. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's quite important that the arm lifts through this so the beats are clear. If I turn sideways on, you'll see that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And from behind, it looks like this. This is an evenly accented 5. In other words, the stress doesn't really fall on any part of the pattern. So you can either have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Indeed, the stress can fall on any part of this pattern. And we're going to illustrate this with the first few bars of Mars from the Planets. From 5, it's easy to move into 6, simply by adding 1 at the bottom of the beat. So from 5, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To move into 6, we add 1 and get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the French 6 as opposed to the German 6, which of course looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Personally, I always use the French 6 because I think it follows on more logically from the subdivision, which it is, of 2. We had the original shape of 2 like this, 1, 2, 1, 2, and we can easily transfer that into 6 like this, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So it's very easy to move in and out of that subdivision. The musical example we're going to take is from the third movement of Berlioz's Symphonie Fantastique. These two beating patterns work very well in alternation, and we'll look at them together now in the promenade from Mussorgsky-Ravel's Pictures at an Exhibition.